Oh my God.
So I'm like, man, I'll take you in the back and make you cry, like make you scream, dude. Like, what are you talking about? But if I make it, we even. So I'm like, oh, all right. So I shoot. I make it. Boom. He shot. He missed. Bam. I said, so you got me 100? And he was like, bet. I'm like, all right. So I shot. I make it. He shot. He make it. So I'm like, you still owe me 100?
Yeah.
So he like, no, we even. I started laughing. I'm like, dude, you know.
After Floyd Mayweather recently made comments trying to challenge Terence Crawford to a fight, Crawford fired back during a live interview and did not hold back. He called Floyd a clout chaser and said he's just looking for easy money. Crawford claimed Floyd is broke and trying to take attention away from his biggest win so he can secure another huge payday to support his expensive lifestyle. He also made it clear that he is not interested in easy money and believes Floyd is far past his prime, especially when you watch his recent exhibition shows.
Opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But
Floyd, yeah, because
He also spoke about how unlikable Floyd is and accused him of trying to take the spotlight after his huge victory over Canelo. He added that Floyd is not a good role model for boxers to follow because his life outside the ring is not something young fighters should copy. After Terence Crawford's dominant performance over the weekend where he defeated Canelo Alvarez and became the undisputed super middleweight champion, a new challenger has started to emerge, but there are still no clear opponents. Stepping forward to face him, Floyd Mayweather, who's a 5-division world champion and a Hall of Famer, is now being mentioned as a possible opponent for Crawford, the 3-division undisputed champion, following a long break from boxing.
Ball, and this dude just come over there and like bet 100. I'm like, what? He like bet 100 on what? He like shot for shot bet 100. So I'm like, so I make it, you give me
the part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
What do you want?
Floyd did not say anything about the fight or support Terence before it happened. Instead, he only posted his betting slip and showed the money he placed on the fight. He shared it after Crawford won, even though he could have done that before the match took place. When it was time to call Crawford out, he chose to go back to social media, but Crawford responded by saying Floyd was acting crazy and seemed drunk.
Now, how do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
Do you think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
Ilia Topuria could knock out Bud Crawford on first contact. Is there any truth to it? Why is it always the MMA guys gotta go box? It doesn't sell. James Toney and the UFC lost a whole bunch of money with it. If Ilia Topuria really could beat up Terence Crawford, why didn't he go into boxing? Ilia is our champion. After seeing Conor, who could not make an amateur Olympic.
This took place after another moment on Saturday night during the fight when Ilia Topuria was unhappy with Terence Crawford walking to the ring using Conchin del Mariachi from the movie Desperado, which is the same song Topuria uses when he enters the cage. Although the 37-year-old Crawford rejected the comparison during the post-fight press conference, the UFC champion still took offense and responded on social media. He said Crawford called him drunk first and then used his music. He added that if Crawford wants to reply on X, he should do it properly, and said he would show him how to dance to that mariachi song in the ring anytime, before saying he would deal with Canelo Alvarez after that.
When I looked at it, he came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from them, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the loop in the right hands. Crawford was ready for the body shot.
The song out and performed tonight. I got Mexicans and Latinos on my side as well, so.
Did you know Ilia Topuria walks out to that song in the UFC?
You said what?
Ilia Topuria walks out to that song in the UFC.
Did he? Oh. Good.
Crawford brushed off the latest comments and again labeled him a clout chaser while saying he is not on the level of Conor McGregor. Speaking on the Ariel Helwani show, he said he believes the UFC champion is chasing attention and possibly looking for a payday by linking his name to the fight. He added that he does not understand his motives and sees no real reason for the talk. Crawford also admitted he has never watched Ilia Topuria fight and was surprised that he did not mention wanting about. When they met months earlier at the UFC Performance Institute in Las Vegas, he said Topuria approached him, shook his hand, and asked how he was doing, but at that time he did not even know who he was.
Crawford stated, I don't know who he is. Ilia's mad. It works every time, and Ilia went crazy. Ilia's just, you don't know who I met you at this. When Ilia responds with truth, when he brings the receipts and the facts, that's what you do.
He then said he later saw him online claiming he would knock him out in the first round and making other bold promises. Crawford pointed out that if he truly wanted the fight, he could have said it directly when they met instead of talking later on social media. He admitted that crossover fights between boxing and mixed martial arts can generate huge money for both sports, but explained that he sees no real value in facing El Matador and said it would not compare to the massive event between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Conor McGregor. In 2017, Crawford questioned how much he would actually earn and how the fight would help his career. He stressed that the UFC champion is nowhere near the level of McGregor and asked people to stop making that comparison. He repeated that he does not really know him and said that as someone who follows MMA closely, he still has not seen anything that convinces him this matchup makes sense.
None of it. He's like, who the f*** is that guy? He's not on my level. He's not on Conor McGregor's level. What the hell is going on? I mean, come on, let's be honest. Jake Paul's fighting Gervonta Davis. If that can happen, or him fighting Mike Tyson, if there's a world that we live in where that can go down and get watched by millions of people.
Crawford added that maybe he can fight well, but he is not sure because he has never watched him compete. He said he has seen Conor McGregor fight many times and made it clear that people should not compare them or put them on the same level. It did not take Ilia Topuria long to respond as he fired back with a bold prediction about how their imagined boxing match would end. He questioned how Crawford could claim to follow MMA and still not know who he is. Topuria wrote on X that when they first met, Crawford wished him luck in his upcoming fight and suggested that his memory is fading and soon his chin will too. He added that he speaks for the MMA community and said that when someone steps in with a pound-for-pound striker, they are facing a real fight.
Always willing to risk it. Ilia, I believe, is willing to risk it. Ilia versus Crawford. Am I wasting my time talking to you guys about that? Maybe not. There's not yet something here, but there's not nothing here.
As fellow boxer entity, athlete, Shakur Stevenson, American boxer, recently said entity, athlete, Terence Crawford, American boxer, could become the first boxer to defeat an MMA fighter at his own sport. Speaking during an interview on Entity TV_show, the Ariel Helwani Show, MMA talk show, Stevenson sparked debate by confidently stating that the boxing star would beat entity, athlete, Ilia Topuria, UFC featherweight champion. Inside the octagon, he explained that Crawford's background in wrestling since his childhood in Nebraska gives him the grappling foundation needed to compete in mixed martial arts.
But alone, I think Bud Crawford is just different. In a boxing ring with him, bro, you're not gonna last more than one round. I don't think. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in the UFC and beat the out of some guys too, because he got a great wrestling.
That guy seems strange to me. Topuria is not as big as people make him out to be, but I have no doubt he could handle it. I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford used his wrestling skills to choke or submit him in an MMA fight. Stevenson's bold claim that Crawford could beat Topuria under MMA rules might sound like typical fighter talk, but it shows he genuinely believes in Crawford's athleticism and wrestling experience and thinks it would give him an edge inside the cage.
Obviously, it was a great show today. I was curious about your entrance, how you came to choose that song in particular to walk out to.
Well, you know, it was part of my outfit. The outfit was inspired by the movie Desperado. As you see, I had the guitar and everything, and my great childhood friend, Rosendo Robles, he was the one that, you know, carried the song out.
Terence Crawford had the goddamn audacity to walk out to Ilia Topuria's walkout song. I mean, what on earth is going on? How dare he? That is Ilia Topuria's song, okay? Ilia Topuria took exception to this in a very big way, and now these two are going back and forth. They are talking shit, and Crawford ain't having.
Former two-division UFC champion entity, athlete, Daniel Cormier, American MMA fighter, does not think it is likely to happen, and he has solid reasons. He said Topuria is not yet as big a star as entity, athlete, Conor McGregor, Irish MMA fighter, and added that Mayweather and entity, athlete, Tyson Fury, British boxer, could take McGregor and Ngannou, which would make those fights look competitive. Cormier does not believe Crawford would act that way in the ring. He also mentioned that Conor's long build-up to fight Mayweather was one of the most surprising things he has seen in combat sports. Speaking on Entity TV_show, DC and RC show, MMA talk show, he said that as long as Francis Ngannou faced Tyson Fury, it was one of the most unexpected moments he has witnessed in fight sports.
How did that feel to hear that from someone like him?
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, you know, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was at the best.
Joshua defeated entity, athlete, Tyson Fury, British boxer. Just like I expected, but I also believe that Floyd Mayweather and Fury could control a fight to make it look competitive and convincing. Ilia wants to be like entity, athlete, Conor McGregor, Irish MMA fighter. But to succeed, he needs the fame that he does not have. Cormier thinks Crawford would benefit from facing Topuria, yet he believes that lack of fame is likely what will stop the fight from happening. Still, entity, athlete, Terence Crawford, American boxer, who has spent his career chasing major opportunities. A match against entity, athlete, Ilia Topuria, UFC featherweight champion, could turn out to be the next big challenge.
UFC World, Ilia Topuria says that if you guys ever boxed, he would knock you out based on the first punch.
That dude drunk, you know. Hey, you know, a lot of MMA guys, they drink a lot, so he must been on that alcohol that day.
He also said that if Terence Crawford does not fight Ilia Topuria, someone else will, and that person could bring him new fans. He explained that there is more interest in the fight than usual, especially because Crawford follows the UFC and knows Topuria he had the chance to promote it, but chose not to. Michael Kaiser told MMA Junkie that he does not like the idea of the dream fight, even though Topuria is confident he could beat the new undisputed super middleweight champion in a boxing match. He added that without a doubt he does not support it.
I'm betting my money on anybody who mother used to go outside and pay kids money to beat her son up. I'm paying y'all real cash money to beat my son, and nobody got the money. I'm betting on that guy.
You betting on that guy?
After the fight between Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather Jr., we kind of lost him. He said that is not what UFC style fighting is meant for. It would be like being forced into a position. And it seems like that happens often. Anything can happen. But the main difference between Floyd and Terence Crawford is that Floyd was far better at promoting his fights than Crawford has been.
Big star, UFC, Ilia Topuria, and fight with the number one boxer right now. If you can do that, why not do that?
We did see Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua.
And you think Topuria can fight with him?
I don't. You asked me straight up, I do not think so, because Crawford is not going to enter a fight like...
He knew how to take jabs, tease people, and sell his brand while proving he could actually fight. He was just great, and Floyd was too. Ilia is not a Conor McGregor, and that made a big difference. McGregor's personality was really something special, and his sharp tongue drew attention in ways Topuria cannot replicate. That was the kind of thing that made the fight exciting and memorable. It is not that Topuria is not entertaining, but he lacks the ability to grab attention across different worlds like Conor did. Dana White, the UFC CEO, has always been clear that he does not want his fighters to get involved in flashy side promotions. In 2017, he made one exception by arranging the Floyd Mayweather vs. Conor McGregor fight, and he has not changed his mind even though he has recently studied boxing marketing more closely.
He goes out and tweets, if I were to face Terence Crawford in boxing, I would put him to sleep. Now, this was after Terence Crawford went on the Nelk Boys podcast. Kyle said, who do you think the best boxer in the UFC is? Have you seen Ilia? He goes, oh, no, it's easily Cody Garbrandt.
Have you seen Topuria? Have you seen his?
I watch a lot of MMA, but I have never seen this guy fight. He says it is not worth his time, but right now Ilia is ahead because he knows how to make people talk about him. Often when Terence Crawford talks about Ilia, it just gives him more attention and helps him win again. So where does that leave us?
I have interest in fighting him.
So what?
Money.
What money would I get out of fighting him? Tell me how much I'm gonna get out of fighting him.
Floyd made a lot, obviously, to fight Conor.
He's not nowhere near on the level of Conor McGregor. Let's be real. Stop it. Don't ever compare him to Conor. Conor was...
Former UFC champion and Hall of Famer had also advised Terence Crawford not to face Ilia Topuria, but Crawford changed the narrative last Saturday by defeating Canelo Alvarez, the current super middleweight champion, by majority decision. This sparked rumors that a fight between Crawford and Topuria could happen. Crawford entered Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas for the match using Antonio Banderas' El Matador, which is the same song Topuria plays at UFC events. Fans from both sports noticed the similarity, even though the Omaha native later explained that his choice of music was meant to honor Banderas and not to disrespect Topuria.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Cody got them hands.
Obviously, Ilia, that's probably maybe ignited a beef, and Terence Crawford is wrong. Ilia Topuria is the best boxer in the UFC. Does this eventually set up an Ilia into boxing? If Ilia...
Like, you're not going to see a wild part of the fight. Crawford was just going to be too clean, too smooth, too fast, and just keep him at distance the whole time, 36 minutes. They wouldn't even sanction a 12-round fight for Ilia Topuria. He's never fought 36 minutes.
After defeating Canelo Alvarez, Crawford seemed to have little left to achieve in boxing, which fueled more speculation about a potential super fight. He might be tempted to face Ilia Topuria since it could be very lucrative as his career nears its peak in recent years. Crossover fights like Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Conor McGregor and Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou have been hugely successful. Former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping advised Crawford against taking the fight, warning that chasing the money could jeopardize his long-term career.
Wrestling, real wrestlers on some everyday shit, because Bud looked bigger than that guy. He got longer arms. I wouldn't be surprised come fight night if they do an MMA fight if Bud done knocked him out sleep.
Crawford was asked whether he should take a fight with Ilia Topuria, and Michael Bisping strongly argued against it. He said the money at stake might be around $50 million, but Terence Crawford has already had an outstanding career. He is 37 years old, undefeated, and does not need to chase money fights. Bisping explained that taking the fight could damage Crawford's reputation. He compared it to turning down a crossover fight with social media star Jake Paul after leaving the Octagon saying he had a strong record and did not want to lower himself by taking that fight. Bisping pointed out that Crawford is too skilled, smooth and fast and would stay ahead of Topuria. The UFC fighter has never gone 12 rounds in boxing, and even though he is well known in MMA, beating him would not add to American boxing history. Crawford also lacks enough MMA training, so a fight under the UFC banner would likely end quickly. Setting up a fight between Crawford and Topuria would be possible since UFC President Dana White is active in boxing promotion after Crawford's win over Alvarez, but it may not benefit either fighter. Chonan noted that Topuria and Conor McGregor share a willingness to take risks, which could lead to a match with Crawford. Topuria is ready to fight anyone and really take chances. Zanin said that risk-taking is what made Conor unique and difficult for others to copy.
For sure. I've seen Conor McGregor fight a lot of times. It's night and day. You know it's night and day. Don't ever try to say they on this level. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're not talking about that. Tell that guy to, keep up the good work and it's cool.
He would say what he needed to say, then cut the commercial and walk away. That kind of confidence is rare. He was always willing to take risks. I think Topuria is ready to risk everything. A fight between Collins and Topuria might be coming, but it's hard to say for sure. That's all there is for now. Whenever new boxing stories, moments, events or highlights happen, we share them on our YouTube channel. Make sure your alerts are on so you don't miss great content like this. Goodbye until next time.